Welcome back to the Obsession Beast Parent Education Level 1 course. We're now in class number 4, and this one is all about if we were to ask, for example, Christian Pulisic the following questions that you're going to find out here shortly, what would he say? So, again, same prompt that I just asked you. Imagine asking Christian Pulisic the following question, and what do you think he would say? So let's find out what the question is so we can really dive into this class and the program that we're going to be teaching with class number 4 if we were to ask. Now, the question we would ask Christian Pulisic would be, what means more to you? Winning a youth soccer tournament or the UEFA Champions League? Because I don't know if you're aware, but he's won the Champions League with Chelsea. Wasn't a starter, but he subbed in off the bench and won. Now, the question you have to ask yourself, and it says 5-minute discussion, but don't worry about 5 minutes, but just think about it for a second. What do you think Christian Pulisic would say and why? Now, I don't know Pulisic personally, so I can only guess, and I'll add value to this later as well, or I'll expand on it, I should say. But if you ask me the same question, right, what means more to me? Winning a trophy at, say, U12 or representing the United States men's national team at the 2019 Futsal World Cup? What do you think I'm going to say? And I think the answer would be pretty obvious, so I imagine the same answer would be pretty obvious for Pulisic, especially being the first American player to win a Champions League. Now, continuing on, we're not going to do this, but I've already done the research. I don't need to stop this to go look at the research, but I want you to do that. So, maybe pause this and take 5 minutes to look at these two people. One is Christian Pulisic, and the other one is Luis Nani. Now, back to Pulisic real quick. Go to his Wikipedia page and look. Just kind of read about it, maybe skim it, whatever you want to do. But look how much it talks about his youth development and processes about youth. So tournaments won and whatnot. And how many do you see? And what is of note on his page? From my research, it's basically 98+% about what he achieved in the professional game. Very little information about the youth. There is like 1 or 2 things about youth, but it's minimal compared to the pro game. So just keep that in mind with the process. And then the same thing about Luis Nani. You go to his Wikipedia page, and you can pick basically any player through this, by the way, right? But the point is you go to their Wikipedia page, so go to Nani's page and see how much stuff they talk about in his page about youth compared to the pro game. And it's basically minimal. So I recommend you pause it for, say, 5 minutes, pause this video, go check out those 2 pages that I just recommended, the Wikipedia page, and see what you find. And I think you're going to be a little bit surprised, to be honest. Or maybe not, and you'll be like, yeah, that's what I thought as well. But point being, again, that's the type of content and opinion that matters more so than youth. And I'm not saying that youth doesn't matter, but the importance is going to be what is achieved at the highest level. So, again, talking about personal examples. When I was U10, I won the Jefferson Cup. Now, I don't know about now, but at the time when I was a young kid, the Jefferson Cup was one of the biggest tournaments on the East Coast, if not across the country. Now, again, I don't know what it is right now. I still think it's a big tournament. It might not have the same prestige anymore. Point being, though, I won that at U10. Now, here's what gets kind of funny. My dad just asked me maybe 2 months ago. He has the trophy at his house. And he was like, hey, Kyle, do you want the trophy? And you're going to be kind of surprised with this, my response. But take a second to think, what do you think I said to him? And my response to him was, Dad, I love you, but that trophy means way more to you than it does to me. And, that might shock you, to be honest, that trophy means more to you than it does to me. Because that's a memory that he can keep. But what I'm going to tell you now is what no one can take away from me. Because these are things that I achieved. So the first part about this is what I achieved that less than 0.01% of people can say the same. And that is, I represented the United States men's national team, as previously stated, at the 2019, well, this was actually 2018 Futsal World Cup qualifiers. We were in Mexico City, Mexico, playing in the World Cup qualifier. I did that. You can't take that away from me. The other thing with the national team was I played in the 2019 Futsal World Cup and captain as you can see here, at the 2019 World Cup. And we played against Nepal, Spain, France, and Curacao. Those are the 4 teams we played against the World Cup. Now, we finished 12th in the world at the time, and those are things that you cannot take away from me. Next one, again, less than 0.01% of people in the world can say they have trained somebody like Luis Nani. That's obviously him on the right. I'm on the far right. He's in the middle, and my brother's on the left. You can't take that away from me. I achieved that. So think about those types of things. That type of stuff means way more to me than any of the other details about what I won in youth. Like, youth helped prepare me, and I didn't do a great job of it, to be honest, but helped prepare me to be where I'm at now and providing me a platform to be successful. That's a fact. But there's nothing really from my youth career that I sit here and go, man, that was impressive. There's maybe one thing, two things. Like, it's kind of cool for me to say that when I was, but I didn't even put it in here, by the way, but when I was 13 years old, I went on trial with Olympique Lyonnais. I was the first American player to go to the academy on trial. That's cool, but it doesn't mean anything anymore. Like, I didn't sign for the club. They told me I was at the level. I was there for about a month, maybe 3 weeks. And yeah, they told me, hey, you're at the level, but we're not looking for somebody at the level. If we're going to invest to bring them in, we want them above our level. Which, that sucked, but the point was I was able to be there and do that and play with that level. So I played with some guys that ended up being professionals for Olympique Lyonnais and other clubs. And that's cool, but you know, it's still a youth thing. Like, that doesn't mean anything to me. It's not where I achieved the most in life. And that's where I think this is the point of this. What did I achieve with the most meaningful level possible? Those are things that I achieved. There's a bunch of stuff that I didn't achieve, by the way, but the point is, this is what I did achieve. Now let's just look at something that's less than 3% of people. So the number went up a little bit, the percentage, but still the same thing. I played Division II college, graduated with a bachelor's, if that means anything to you. And that's 4 years of experience in that level. Again, not many people can say that. 3% or so. I have semi-professional playing experience, playing semi-professionally in France. So that was cool. And again, what is the point of all of this? You know, you got direction. You got facts to the right. We got myths to the left. What's the point of all this? Good question. If your child has a goal of getting to the next level, you need to be thinking bigger picture. What they win as a kid doesn't matter. Like, truly, ultimately, it doesn't matter. Does it make you feel good, and does it make them feel good? Yes. But does it matter? That's what you really need to think about. Does this matter? Think bigger picture. Think outside the box. If you think inside the box, you're going to do what, you know, the path is for U.S. soccer, or the players of U.S. soccer, and it's not a good path right now for people. So that's why I'm saying think bigger picture. And like, think about this. Is winning a $50 trophy and a $4 medal at a youth tournament that much more important than your child developing and improving and potentially achieving their dreams in the long run? So their dream could be, you know, college Division I athlete, or Division II like I did, or professional playing experience. Like, those are things that such a small percentage of people are able to achieve. And if you get caught up on this, winning a $50 trophy and a $4 medal, that's going to stop. I don't want to say stop. It might not necessarily stop, but it could really dent your child's hopes and dreams of being successful. And that sucks. That really, really sucks. And in fact, I was talking to my dad about this exact type of conversation. And he said probably when I was about 12 years old, something flipped in his mind that was like, look, because he was a guy, I wouldn't say he joystick, but he was kind of loud on the sidelines. And he realized and thought bigger picture, that just winning a freaking $50 trophy and a $4 medal might, you know, impact me in the long run to not help me get where I want to go. Now, ultimately, I didn't achieve the ultimate dream I had of being a full-time pro. That's a separate conversation. But the point is, look what I'm doing nowadays. And it's all because, and I'll put a lot of credit down to my parents in this aspect, giving me that freedom to let me own my own dream. And if I want to do this, I got to go for it. And they helped me do that. But they didn't joystick me. They didn't, you know, I mean, were there times that my mom and dad were probably too easy or too hard? Sure. Yeah, okay. But again, that's part of the process, right? So those are things that you got to be mindful of. Now, let's go back, just to recap. We got the 3 zones. Zone 1, birth to 15 years old. Zone 2, 15 to 19 years old, or older potentially. And Zone 3 at the next level. So Zone 1, again, is the development and preparation zone. This, again, I need you guys to really fully grasp and understand this, because if we're not developing, preparing, and providing the experience for the player to grow, how can we expect them to then get ready for the opportunity window / zone to achieve their dreams, which would then happen because they performed well enough to get to Zone 3. And those are things that I think people kind of misvalue and miss out on. And if you're not paying attention to that type of stuff and really reflecting and evaluating on it, if you're a parent, and you are a parent, that's why you're in this course, what are you doing every single day to help your child get there? Now, you're probably going to say, well, I need to be on top of him more. That's not how this works. If you as a parent want it more than your child, and you have to force them, for example, to go to practice, then they're going to quit. At some point, I shouldn't say they will quit. There's a high percentage that they will quit, 1. And then two, they won't achieve their dreams because you're pushing them. It's not coming from them. And that's so important for you to understand. I need to say that again. If you are forcing them, you will almost guaranteed stop them from achieving the ultimate outcome. And that's because you want it more than them. You can't want it more than your kid. You can't. My parents wanted to help me get there, but my mom and dad didn't want it more than me. They would remind me a lot and say, hey, Kyle, remember, you said you have this dream. You want to be a professional football player playing for Manchester United. What are you doing today to help get yourself there? And then what I would have to do is think and reflect on that and be like, man, what am I doing today to get there? What am I doing today? And your job as a parent is to support the player in whatever their process, your child, whatever their process and goal is. But you can't force them to do it. But then what you can do is help them evaluate if this is really what they want to do, because if they're not putting in the effort to get there, then actions speak louder than words. So let's get to the recommendation piece. Please remember to focus on the 3 zones, specifically 1 and 2, because those are the key areas. Everybody wants to get the 3, but if you don't do 1 and 2 correctly, think about it. How are they going to get to 3? Trophies and social media posts are money makers for clubs and ego boosts for parents. So you need to be focused and think long term. Is a $50 trophy and a $4 medal that much more important than potentially helping your child achieve long-term success? And the thing you got to remember is, the chance of them being a pro is not high. The chance of them getting to college is not high. But even if they don't make that, you can help set them on the right path for future success. So look at myself. I didn't achieve my dream of being a full-time pro, but look at the impact that I'm able to make and help people hopefully make better decisions, because my parents spent $82,593 for me to play youth soccer. That's an astronomical amount of money. But so far, it's paid off and I'm being successful. So it was an investment. And, my family, or I should say the teams that I played for, especially in my young career, so say 8 to 14, did we win some things? Yeah, we won some stuff, but we didn't win every single weekend. We didn't win every major tournament. We lost a lot, man. And those experiences can never be taken away from me. Like the stuff that I mentioned previously, for example, training Luis Nani, you can't take that away from me. Representing the United States men's national team at the Futsal World Cup, you can't take that away from me. So trophies in youth soccer might feel good, but it really doesn't mean anything. And the question I have is, before we close this up, when does it mean something? Do you guys remember? Do you remember when winning actually means something, and performance? I mean, performance is always kind of important, but there's a certain zone where performance really takes priority. It's not Zone 1, it's Zone 2. Zone 2 is the opportunity window where performance is key. Impact is key. What you do on the field is key. What you do off the field is key. So just remember those type of things, because I want you and your child to be successful. But you got to remember the reason why we're doing this. It's for the kids. It's for your son. It's for your daughter. It's not for you. If you're doing it for you, in 99.9% of cases, the player will fail. And I don't want your player to fail because of that. So that's the end of class 4, guys. This is a shorter one. A little bit more compact and precise. And I hope you guys took a lot of value from it. But without further ado, man, we'll see you in class number 5.